Hey y'all, what's up? We back. It's Jasmine, if you didn't know.
And Rosie. Thank you guys so much for coming to my Mayhem. Make sure you're a subscriber. If you're not, it's real simple. It's a red rectangle right down there. Just click it and you won't miss any more uploads from us.
And also, if you're new to this channel, this is a village. We raise each other's kids together. We reach out to you guys to share our journey, and we hope for the feedback to help us. We're new moms. We know some seasoned moms out there, so come in. Come on, let's go. Let's do this.
It's all about community over here. So we really thrive off your comments, off your subscription to our channel. Make sure you go to Instagram and you follow us at Mayi Mayhem. That will be down on the screen for you and in the description box below.
We really need y'all over there because that's where we are every day.
Yeah.
We're only here once a week, but if you go on over to Instagram, like she said, you're going to see us every day.
Every day. And it's goodness over there too. Wholesome stuff. So today we're here to discuss our potty training journeys.
Ooh. It was a journey for me. It's still kind of a journey, but
yeah, and we're going to give you some tips. We're going to discuss various potty training methods. It's going to be a really good video. So make sure you grab your water, grab some snacks, and just enjoy all this goodness that you're about to receive, okay?
Hey, today is Thursday. Are you ready? I said, hey, today is Thursday.
First friends, then wives,
Now moms. Hey, today, follow us on our journey. Hey, today is Thursday. Are you ready? I said, hey, today is Thursday.
Trey Fresh killing the beat.
If this is your first time, I am the mother to a 2-year-old toddler baby girl. And
a lovely toddler baby boy. Well, he's not a baby, but he's my baby. But yes,
they're really not babies anymore.
They're not. They're growing up.
We have similarities in our journey, but also some huge differences because she has a baby boy. And one of the main reasons that we decided to do this video is because we have a lot of conversations with moms, and they're like, potty training. My Mayhem is a platform we share our journey in hopes that it encourages you, it inspires you, and it's helpful to you on your journey. Okay, so you ready to jump in?
I'm ready to jump in.
Okay, so Jasmine is more acclimated to babies and toddlers and children in general. She has worked in the child care realm. If you could give me a one-liner that will make somebody sit here and watch the rest of this video, and they are sitting here like, potty training, like, what are they gonna say?
And where do I start? Commitment and consistency. If you get those two, your journey won't be so rough. It's gonna be rough because they're learning with you, but be patient.
So committing, being consistent, and exercising patience. Let's get into it. All right, so first I want to share a fascinating method that I came across during research for you guys. We take this serious here. So we go, we dig, we find things to present. And this method is called Elimination Communication, abbreviated EC. Yeah, girl, let me tell you. So Elimination Communication is a gentle, non-coercive way to respond to babies' natural hygiene needs from as early as birth. All mammals, human beings, instinctively, that means something that you're born with, no one has to teach you, instinctively resist soiling themselves, their sleep area, and their caregivers. I was blown away.
It sounds like I'm potty training a whole animal, but that's what that
But
sounded
in a
like.
way, I mean, it's the same principle.
Because
like,
dogs do not poop or pee in their area unless you chain them to something they have no choice. So just like a diaper, they're like, you have this thing on me.
chain.
That's the chain. You have this diaper on me, so I have no choice but to go here.
That's good.
Because you didn't take me to the bathroom. Okay. I see you, EC.
Yes. So I watched 2 videos in particular that made me aware of this method. So I'll make sure to link those down in the description box for you to watch.
It sounds interesting.
Yes.
So I'm going to check them out, so y'all go check them out too.
Yeah, it was very interesting. If you're interested in the EC method, you can find more information about it down below. I'll link the videos I watched as well as a reading tool for you to check out. To learn more. Let's go through our personal journeys with potty training. When would you say you started potty training?
We started at 17 months because he started to show the signs, you know, telling me, saying the words pee pee and poo poo and following me to the bathroom all the time. So I'm like, oh, you know, these are the signs that I read to look for. Okay,
so Jasmine actually has discussed this here on this channel before. So we'll have that video linked down below. It was titled Her Introduction to Potty Training. Make sure you watch it, like it, commenting on it, all of that good stuff. I remember you mentioning in that video that you started at 17 at home, but at 18 months, the school that he was attending would actually start.
Yes.
So what was that like?
So that didn't go so well. We're already potty training somebody, so basically they didn't have the time to potty train my child. Okay, that's how y'all do things. I'm gonna continue to do what I do at home. But then that's setting your child up for failure because you and your provider have to be on the same page.
Because it's confusing.
It's very confusing.
So if a mom or a caregiver is out there and they're watching this and they face a similar situation, what would you say they should do?
Whatever school or program your child is in, you have to know what their guidelines are for potty training. You might have to have that discussion to see if you can get on the same page, but if you see that it's not going anywhere, then you might have to go above. And if it's still not happening, then guess what? That's not the place for your child.
Tip number 1 is the caregivers have to keep up with the potty training program.
Yes.
And in this case, the caregiver was the school that Asir was attending. But in my case, the caregiver was family members, including my own husband. So everybody has to be on the same potty training program.
Yes.
And committed,
yes,
consistent, and patient. That's like the theme for this video. Those 3 terms: commitment, consistency, and patience.
Yes.
So I also started the potty training journey at around 17 months. My sister, she challenged me to have Rayleigh potty trained by 2. So that was what propelled me to even start around 17 months. And my view on it was like the fear of the unknown. Like I didn't know what to expect. So I didn't know what to do, essentially. Like, but I remember when Rayleigh was around that age, I had bought a potty. I would keep it in our living room. If this is your first time tuning in, I work from home. So Rayleigh is always with me throughout the day. So I would have the potty here in our living room where I would be throughout the day. And I just noticed that she wasn't really understanding what I wanted. And so I would leave her naked and have to pay attention. This goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. To like if she looked like she had to eliminate, you know?
So basically, that's kind of what goes in the 3-day method, and you stay at home for 3 days, and you have to watch your child like a hawk.
I was working in potty training, so I wasn't watching like a hawk. And so that's why in the beginning, maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe she was, but I wasn't, because that type of devotion, like to be paying attention constantly, I couldn't commit to until like a certain certain time of the day when I was off work. It was slow. I was not consistent in the beginning. I was just like, if you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. I'm about to put on this diaper. Like, that was kind of like how it was in the beginning for me. When would you say a seer actually peed or pooped on the potty?
19 months old. He was going to the bathroom with dad, and he calls me like, he did it. So I rush in the bathroom, and my husband's on the toilet, and the seer's on the toilet, and I'm celebrating. I'm getting the camera or whatever and trying not to get him, but the baby, it was so funny. And he's looking at the potty like what
are y'all so
excited about?
Right.
Like, I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. All that I've been talking to you, and the whole naked around the house, and you throwing the potty, standing on it, like, it's paying off. Like, that was my reward. So I'm like, okay, he got it now, so we can do this from here.
Around 19 months for me is when I picked back up on the dedication to letting her be nude in the living room, having the potty in the living room, and really focusing on getting her potty trained.
Yes, I remember this. Like, knock, knock, Ray, open the door. No underwear on. Like, Ray, you come into the door with no drawers on.
And to me, like, when I talk to moms and they ask about, like, potty training, that's always my number one thing, because that works.
Yes, I say go for it. That's the best way. Because
And yes, I was scrubbing my carpet. And yes, I had multiple times where I was irritated. But that works.
Yeah, it does. And if you're afraid of all of that, stay in one area if you can, or whatever.
And when would you say, what was the next, like, big milestone in your potty training journey?
Once he went to school, it was like, I'm not sending no pull-ups. He just going in underwear, and I'm sending that extra clothes. And it was I was lucky that was her program. So it was wonderful. It worked, and he was never confused on what was going on, because it's like, my mom is doing this, my caregiver is doing this. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I got this.
For me, it was around June that Rayleigh no longer was using the disposable diapers.
So basically, that's I didn't say the time frame. So yep, the same time.
Yeah,
it was June.
And it was pretty much like when I ran out of diapers. I remember we bought maybe 2 to 4 boxes, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not buying any more diapers.
I don't buy any more.
And that's and I say that because I never bought diapers. So from our baby shower up into around maybe January of 2020, like, I didn't need diapers.
Basically me here too.
Yeah, so when I did have to start buying them, I'm like, I'm not doing this for too long. Is a seer fully potty trained now?
Fully potty trained. I did that in June, and me and his provider being on the same page, he was fully potty trained before 2 years old. I was so happy that I had a potty trained boy before too, because boys are so much different than girls.
For me, after I stopped buying the disposable diaper, I bought some cloth diapers, and I only used them overnight. So Rayleigh was fully potty trained in July, and at night we would use it, and I can't really remember. I feel like in the beginning she would soil the diaper, but then I also start cutting her liquid intake at a certain time, cutting it off.
So that's why she was soiling it, because you hadn't cut the liquid
Yeah,
intake.
I had not cut the liquid intake off at any time. I was just letting her do what she did. And so then I started, like, okay, an hour before you go to bed, no more liquids. And then that is when I realized she could hold her urine through the night. So there was no need for the cloth diaper, because every morning I would be taking it off and it would be dry. And so I was like, that's the trick. So.
And to go off of what she said, that she cut the liquids off at a certain time. Now for me, I wasn't able to do that because Asir is always thirsty, and I didn't want to have the battle of telling him, no, you can't have nothing to drink, and I'm drinking water in the middle of the night, because we all know people get thirsty in the middle of the night. So, and he goes to bed at like 8:30, so 8:30. So if he gets thirsty in the middle of the night, why am I not giving it to him? I can just make him go to the bathroom, which I did. So I made it easier on myself not to have to travel all the way to the bathroom, and just keep his potty in the room with the pee-pee pad underneath. So if he had an accident, which he did often.
He's wearing pull-ups overnight right now.
So he still does, but I made the commitment that at 3 I'm done, because I'm going to get him a different kind of bed that's easier for him to get in and out of, because the one he has is not that easy, and that's where he's gonna stay. So if he soils it, that's fine. We're gonna change them sheets, but I'm not changing mine anyways.
Neither one of us have laundry in our home,
so
I think that's the real big piece. So if you are out there and you have that capability, like, go for it. Go for letting your baby cut off the liquids so that they hold, their urine through the night, and let them either be in your bed or in their bed or whatever, but with their training pants. I think that's like the final step to potty training, is the overnight portion. Yeah. That's the biggest step. So where are you now? I know we kind of hit on it a little bit, but if there's any like other finishing moments that you want to share about the journey, you can do that.
Now it's just, the only thing is the communication part with me and Asir, that he just only says that he has to pee sometimes, but most of the time he is holding it, and it's like, okay, it's been a whole hour, I'm gonna put you on the potty anyway because I know you gotta use it. And he goes, or he's saying he's finished and he's still going. He's always in a rush, so you have to know your child. My child is always in a rush and trying to go back to his toys and watch a movie or whatever like that.
So where we are now is I purchased a potty for the trunk of my car.
Yes.
So when you are committed and in it to win it, you have to get a potty that travels with you.
Yes.
And I also have a potty seat that I use, say I'm in Target.
I love it.
And I go to their restroom. I have this foldable potty seat that I'll put on the toilet to allow her to use the toilet, because it's not practical for me to be leaving outside of Target to go back to the travel potty in the trunk.
Not at all.
Like, I'm not doing all that. Nor am I carrying the travel potty inside of the mall or the grocery store, nothing like that. So that is another accessory that I will link down below.
I always make sure Asir goes to the bathroom before we leave somewhere and right before we get into where we're going in the trunk potty. So I don't have to worry about it in the store, because I'm not trying to stop in the store to be using a potty. So I haven't had to use one in a public restroom. I've never been in a public restroom with him.
Well, that's interesting. I have, and the funny moment is that she's scared of the sound of the flush.
Yeah.
Because it's so loud. So she'd be like, what's that? You want me to sit there? I don't think so. It's funny.
But the toilet at home don't make all that noise.
Yeah, I always have to like reinforce, like, it's okay, girl. Do what you gotta do. So that's where we are now. Recently I purchased a little to big potty seat for our home, and that has 2 potty seats essentially. So one for us to use and one for her to use. So I'll definitely link that down below as well. Right now, Rayleigh hasn't learned how to pull the seat down herself. So we just leave it down for her, and like when we go use the restroom, we just put it back down. But she gets up to the toilet alone. Again, as I mentioned, I work from home, so I'm working. I can't or don't attend to every trip to the toilet that she needs. So she goes on her own. She can't quite pull the tissue and wipe herself yet. So she comes to me and asks for a wipe and wipes herself when it's pee-pee. Nah, boo-boo, we ain't doing that. I gotta make sure it's all the way clean back there. But yeah, she's pretty self-sufficient, and I am grateful for it. It just makes my whole life
so
that
much
easier.
Yeah.
So if you've been considering potty training your toddler, go for it.
Go for it. Remember, look for the signs. You have to look for the signs to know that your child is ready.
Yes, and be consistent, be committed, and be patient with yourself and your little one. There's different methods that can be used to potty train. Jasmine mentioned the
3-day method.
I identified in my research that I use the deadline method.
Okay.
And I also mentioned earlier the EC method. So there's a couple of different ones out there. Make sure you do your own research after you watch this video, just to find what you think will work and be practical for your everyday life.
So I got the question, what do you do if your child is refusing the potty? So you go through all the tips and the signs, and you see that they're ready, but they're refusing. And I had this problem. He was stiff body and screamed not to sit on the potty, but he had to use it. So you have to make it your child's choice. You have to ease their fears, and you really have to include them in the whole journey. Have them pick out their favorite type of underwear, read the books and everything like that. Ensure them that it's okay and it's just where they go use it. Nothing else happens there but to use the potty. So they don't have to be scared.
Yeah.
And when they use it on the bathroom, even though it's something small to you, it's something big to them. So celebrate. If it's a dance, we had a song, and he loved singing it. He would sing it sometimes, and he didn't even use it. What made me think, like, do you have to use it? Is that why he's singing the song? But like, we just, we would praise him when he used the potty, and just do that.
So that's very good. I think that's very useful for you guys. If you are experiencing that, if you will experience it, you will be able to use those 2 simple things to help you get through that portion of the journey. Because it doesn't last forever.
No.
That's the thing with
I've
all
learned
these
that.
journeys.
It's just
a
phase.
temporary, So that's why the patience piece is so important.
Yes.
Because like we were saying in the beginning, these are no longer babies. So it's like all of those things we used to be so frustrated about, like, you don't even got to worry about it now. Breathe through the moments and just keep going. That's the main thing. It's important that dad or partner is on board and on one accord with you as you are potty training. Consistency is key. Caregivers have to be keeping up with the potty training program that you're doing at home while they are away from home. You want to provide your caregivers with a potty, like Jasmine mentioned, or a potty seat to keep them encouraged with doing the work that is going to take to maintain the consistency. You want to pretty much commit. You commit, other caregivers commit, and the baby will be potty trained. It's really not that difficult.
Yep.
That's it.
Take off the Band-Aid. They don't need the diaper.
Clearly, EC method.
Yes, take it off.
So that's it for me. You have anything else?
I can list the tips specifically for boys. Let him watch and learn when you go to the bathroom. Because, I mean that kind of works for both kids, but for boys, they need to see it. Help them get comfortable. Motivate him with cool underwear. Set a schedule. You gotta set a schedule, because if you just are everywhere with things, your child is confused. And I learned that earlier on.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to be all over the place. I noticed that my child liked to be on a schedule. And when you break that, he would flip out. So it's like, oh, okay, I can't just be doing whatever whenever, because my child doesn't work that way. Yeah, so get a schedule, because that's going to help a lot.
We mentioned it, but I just want to highlight that in the morning when you go to the restroom,
they have to go
has
too.
to go too.
Yeah, they have to go.
Every morning. Like,
that's where you can start.
Yeah, because I remember when I started, I asked Jasmine, and she was like, when you go, she need to be going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Like,
it's really so simple, but like, we just don't.
Like, do you not have to go to the bathroom soon
every
as you
morning?
wake up?
Right, right. So yeah. And same thing at night, I would say.
Right before you go to bed.
Yeah, before we put Rayleigh in the bed, she's on the potty.
Because as adults, y'all know y'all be sleeping. It's like, oh, this is good sleep, but you gotta pee. And you try to hold it all night until you really have to get up, or until you can't. That's not good, but I do it sometimes.
Yeah, me too. I be trying to get them extra low minutes.
Man,
even though they don't be enjoyable because I gotta pee.
So just imagine your child has to, they probably have to pee in the middle of the night, so get up and y'all just go.
Yeah.
It's a together thing.
Yes.
Yep. And that's it.
That's it, y'all. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you found something that you can take from it and implement in your own personal journey and life. Again, my name is Rosie.
And I'm Jasmine.
And we want to make sure you subscribe to this channel.
And like this video, because this video took work. It was fun to make for y'all.
Well, that's it, you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.